Hi guys, it's Sarah from the Support Worker Store. Today I'm going to talk about the NDIS Price Guide. It is overwhelming. It's a little bit too much at the best of times. And how do we pull it all apart so we understand it? Because as support workers, as small businesses, we want to be able to do the right thing by the people that we serve. So let's get straight into it, guys. What is the NDIS Price Guide? The Price Guide is kind of like a menu, right? It is for services and supports you can provide our NDIS participants. It shows how much you can charge for your services and what you can charge for a service while staying fair, but within the rules. Think of it as like a go-to book with set prices. So how do you read the NDIS guide? Like, how do you even read it? All right, so the guide kind of feels a bit more really it is overwhelming, and there's a fun way to break it down. Think of the front pages as magic, yeah? The first few pages explains the rules and how to use a guide and how many changes, any new changes that are coming up. Think of it as what's new section, like a what's new section in your favorite app. But then, guys, there is like section galore. The guide is split into sections, like a book. Each section is about a different type of support. So there is core support, which is everyday help like cleaning, cooking, going out. And then there's capacity building, which teaches new skills, how a participant can reach their goals. And then there is capital support, like the big items, wheelchairs, home modifications, probably not for us support workers and businesses, probably not the section we'll be reading because we're about providing care. All right, so each has a number, right? So each service has a unique line and like a product code, yeah? So these numbers can help you match services to an NDIS participant's plan. So they're per an hour, yep? It tells you how much you can charge per an hour for services. And remember, the prices are the maximum rate. You can charge less if you want. You cannot charge any more. And if you're charging any more, then you, my friend, are the problem. All right. So the sections of the price guide, think of it like a map. Yeah. Oh my God, Sarah. Yeah, a map. Where you can look at these sections as key sections. Core support is like everyday tasks like personal care, transportation, helping meal preps. Example, I'm going to use the line 01. Is it is it an underscore or a dash? I'm going to go 01 underscore 010 underscore 0125 underscore 10 underscore 1. Help with personal care. Please remember that these lines, like if you are watching this, please check the lines before you're quoting me because the lines do change. So what is relevant today might not be relevant tomorrow when I'm saying out these lines. So be prepared, be aware. Yeah. And then there's also lines like 01 underscore 020 underscore 0125 underscore 1 underscore 1 system with social outings. Is it just me? I cannot be the only one that's able to put these lines like off by heart. If you are, can you put something in the comments like, yeah, Sarah, I too can know the lines off by heart. I cannot be the only person in this sector that knows these lines off by heart. I'm not allowed to be. All right, so then there's capacity building. So these are where we help participants grow skills and become independent. I'll give you an example. I won't do the whole line again because it's really long, but it's a 15. So 15 dash, I'll go 0 or underscore 15 underscore 045. This is skill training like cooking and budgeting, but also we can use things like if you're a support coordinator, then they're using like 15 underscore 037 support coordination, which helps organize their plan. But we're not support coordinators here, we're support workers. Support workers, if you're doing support work and coordination, be careful. Capital supports, look, these are the big ticket items and they're like the wheelchairs, assistive technology. If they're using it, like assistive technology, it's like an 05 underscore 0, I think 80. I think that's funding for assistive technology, but we're support workers, so we won't need that. So don't really worry about the capacity, the capital supports. Worry about capacity building support and worry about core support because that is where we sit. We know our boundaries, yeah. All right. So what sections can a independent support worker use? As an independent support worker, you're most likely going to use the core support and the capacity building the most often. Let's be honest. Let's be upfront. Let's be very clear. That's probably where we're going. So core support is helping a person with personal care, showering, dressing, social supports, accompanying a participant for events or outings, domestic assistance, cooking, cleaning, but capacity building is a wee bit different. It's about teaching and supporting, guiding our NDIS participants with life skills like cooking, like public transport, managing money. It's also to help people to be as independent as possible, because that's what we're here for, right? Independence. All right, so how do we use, sorry, I thought I was funny, but anyway, how do you use the guide, so how do you use the price guide? Match services to participants' plans. All right, so find out what budget they can use. Is it core? Is it capacity? Is it capital? Look up the items that describe the person's individual goal. Is it in line? Check the rate. Use the hourly rate to create your invoices. Remember, you have to stick to the maximum rate. That's the maximum you can charge. If you're an independent, you generally charge lesser than you don't charge the whole line. Some people do. I wouldn't recommend it, but you do you, boo. Keep it flexible. If the guide says it's $55 an hour, but your participant can maybe only afford $50 an hour, that's okay. The guide shows us the highest rate, not the rate that is required as independent support workers. So I want to make this a little bit fun, because I find that the guide can be really overwhelming. So this is the concept I'm going to use, and I'll see if it works for you guys. You ready? Think of the guide as a giant treasure map. Yep, we're pirates. We're role-playing here, we're pirates. The sections on the map are different little islands. The lines are hidden treasure, and the prices are, we'll say, gold coins that you're allowed to collect. With this map, you always know how to help a participant without breaking any rules. And like a good explorer, you're able to explain where the treasure came from and services is coming from. So maybe some quick tips so we're not shipwrecked. Yeah, because we're pirates. Yeah, we're role playing. I would print out a copy of the price guide, and then highlight the sections that you're mostly going to use, because there are lines that are very consistently used. I would highlight them. I would make it super easy to refer back to, especially when discussing services with NDIS participants, their families, stakeholders, support coordinators. You need to know what you're charging. You need to have these conversations when we're talking to people, especially when it comes to service agreements, because you need to be able to have this down very clearly so everybody is aware, and we don't want to be fraudulent. So we're going to do the right thing. Yep. So let's turn this price guide into a very powerful tool. If you're ever unsure about the price guide, remember that you can contact the NDIS and have these discussions. You can have a discussion with the people that we serve, their families, stakeholders. You can call up the support coordinator if they've got one and have these discussions. And remember, when you are invoicing, please make sure that you're using the specific lines in your invoices it just won't go through. And I want you to get paid, because it's important that you get paid for the work that you do. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in today to the Support Worker Store. I hope this helps. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.